On a cold winter night. As snowflakes gently fell to the ground. Evergreen Café basked in the quiet ambience of rural Maine. The small diner, with warm golden light streaming through its windows, served as a haven for locals braving the harsh winter. That evening, an unexpected event unfolded that would forever change the lives of everyone there. Liam, a young server working at the cafe, had just finished his shift. As he stepped out the back door to take out the trash, he heard a faint sound. In the dim glow of the outdoor light, Liam spotted a small dog shivering in the cold. The dog had thin golden fur, eyes filled with hope, and perked ears that seemed to catch every sound. "What's going on here?" Liam murmured, his voice merging with the icy air. He walked closer, crouching down to see the trembling creature, which appeared both exhausted and hungry. "Evan!" Liam called out, turning toward the back door. Evan, the middle-aged head chef with a rugged exterior but a kind heart, was cleaning up in the kitchen. Hearing Liam's call, he set down his towel and stepped outside. "What's the matter, Liam?" he asked, his deep voice calm and steady. "Look at this," Liam said, pointing to the small dog. "It's either lost or abandoned. What should we do?" Evan looked at the dog, a flicker of sympathy in his eyes. "Bring it inside. We can't let it freeze out here." Liam quickly scooped up the dog, feeling the chill emanating from its frail body. He carried it into the cafe, where the warmth from the stove made the space immediately more welcoming. Evan grabbed a soft towel and wrapped it around the dog. "You must be starving," he said as he took out some leftover chicken from dinner. The dog gazed at him with grateful eyes and devoured the food he offered. "It seems really smart," Liam observed, unable to hide his fascination. "We should name it. How about Hope?" "Hope? Huh. I like it." Evan nodded. "It suits the little guy. Seems like it's still holding on to a bit of hope, even in this tough situation." From that moment on, Hope became a part of Evergreen Café. Though it had been there less than a day, its presence brought a refreshing energy to the small diner. Customers couldn't help but be curious about the dog with its big, expressive eyes. Hope was not only intelligent but also incredibly calm. It seemed to sense the love and care from Liam, Evan, and everyone at the cafe. Over the following days, Hope grew accustomed to its new life. Liam often took it for walks around the diner, while Evan prepared small meals just for it. No one knew where Hope had come from or why it had appeared at Evergreen Café's doorstep on that winter night. But one thing was certain, its arrival had transformed the atmosphere of the small diner, bringing joy and connection in ways words could never fully capture. One cold morning, as snow continued to blanket the rural landscape of Maine, Hope began acting unusually. Instead of happily wandering around the cafe as usual, the dog stood by the door, its eyes fixed on a narrow path leading into the nearby woods. Liam noticed the change and approached. "What's wrong, Hope?" he asked, his voice tinged with concern. Hope let out a soft bark, glancing back at Liam as if urging him to follow. Without hesitation, Liam called out to Evan. "Evan, I think Hope wants us to follow." "Something might be wrong," he said. Evan nodded in agreement, quickly putting on a warm coat and grabbing a flashlight just in case. Hope led them down the narrow path, surrounded by bare trees that exposed the gray winter sky. The crunch of snow underfoot echoed in the stillness as the cold air bit at their faces. Deeper into the woods, they came upon an old, Crumbling cabin with a broken roof and walls that seemed to barely hold their structure. Hope barked louder now, running ahead with a sense of urgency. As they approached, Liam and Evan heard faint sounds, weak whimpering, like the cries of a creature in distress. Stepping inside the cabin, they found two small puppies huddled in a corner, their fur matted and their eyes wide with fear. Liam gasped. "Oh no, they've been abandoned." "Haven't they?" Evan knelt down, examining the puppies. "They're freezing and starving. But they're alive. Thank goodness." Hope stepped forward, gently licking the puppies as if to comfort them. The gesture made Liam and Evan realize that Hope was not just any stray dog but a protector and guide for these helpless creatures. "We can't leave them here," Liam said firmly, determination lighting up his eyes. "We need to bring them back to the cafe." Evan agreed, wrapping the puppies in his thick coat for warmth as they made their way back to Evergreen Café. Back at the cafe, the puppies were placed by the warm stove. Hope sat beside them, its eyes full of care and concern. Liam and Evan named the puppies Sunny and Star, fitting names for the little lights they brought into such a dark situation. With food and warmth, the puppies quickly began to recover. The weak whimpers they had let out before were soon replaced by gentle tail wags and trusting gazes. But the story didn't end there. When Liam and Evan returned to the cabin to clean up and investigate further, they uncovered another surprise. In a corner of the cabin, amidst old, tattered blankets, lay an elderly man. He was frail, his hands rough and weathered from the cold. Evan gently shook him awake. "Are you all right? Why are you living out here in such harsh conditions?" The man, his eyes weary but kind, slowly opened them and replied, "My name is Oscar. I've been living here for years. But my health has been failing. I didn't think I'd survive this winter." Liam looked at him, his heart heavy with compassion. "We can't leave you here. Come with us to Evergreen Café. There's warmth and food there. We'll help you." At first, Oscar resisted. But Liam and Evan's insistence finally persuaded him. They helped him to his feet, gathered a few essentials from the cabin, and brought him back to the café. At Evergreen Café, Oscar was warmed by the stove and given a hearty meal after days of hunger and cold. Sitting in the corner, his eyes lingered on Hope, filled with deep emotion. "I owe my life to that dog," he said, his voice hoarse but sincere. "Hope has been my only companion for years. It always cared for and protected me. When I couldn't care for Sunny and Star anymore, it brought you here. It truly is a miracle." Liam and Evan sat silently, listening to Oscar's story. They realized that Hope was more than just a special dog, it was a bridge that brought people together. Under the small roof of Evergreen Café, the once lost souls of people and dogs alike found warmth, love, and a renewed sense of purpose in life. After Oscar was brought back to Evergreen Café and began to regain his strength, Liam and Evan started thinking about his future. While the small café was always warm and filled with laughter, they knew Oscar couldn't sleep by the stove forever. One morning, just as the café was opening, Liam said, "Evan, we should do something to help Oscar in the long run. The empty room upstairs hasn't been used yet. Why don't we invite him to move in there?" Evan thought for a moment before nodding. "You're right. I originally planned to use it as storage. But he needs it more. We'll fix it up a bit. Add a bed and some essentials. Oscar deserves a proper home." That evening, they approached Oscar with the idea. At first, the old man seemed hesitant. feeling like he was imposing on them. "I've lived alone for so many years. I don't want to be a burden," he said, his voice trembling. But with Liam and Evan's patient and heartfelt persuasion, Oscar finally agreed. Within days, the upstairs room was cleaned and furnished. They added a small bed, a simple wooden table, and a cozy armchair. Evan brought up a reading lamp, and Liam placed a potted plant on the windowsill to make the room feel homier. When Oscar moved in, he couldn't hide his emotions. "Thank you. I never thought I'd live in a place this warm and welcoming," he said, his eyes brimming with tears. Before long, Oscar started helping out at the cafe as a way of showing his gratitude. Despite his age and declining health, he had skillful hands and plenty of experience. One day, while watching Evan experiment with a new recipe in the kitchen, Oscar smiled and said, "Would you like to try my wife's cornbread recipe? She used to make it when we were young, and everyone loved it." Evan, though an accomplished chef, was eager to learn from Oscar. The old man carefully guided him, from choosing the best cornmeal to baking the bread to perfection with a crispy crust and a soft interior. When the first batch was ready, the cafe was filled with the aroma of butter and corn. Liam and some regular customers tried the cornbread and were instantly enchanted. "This is amazing," one customer exclaimed. "I've never tasted anything like it." The cornbread quickly became the most popular dish at Evergreen Café, with people often coming just to enjoy it. Oscar felt a sense of pride and happiness, contributing something meaningful and bringing joy to others, something he hadn't done since losing his wife. Meanwhile, Hope continued to be the heart of the cafe. The dog not only helped Oscar adapt to his new life but also took care of Sunny and Star with unwavering devotion. Under Hope's love and care, the two puppies made a full recovery. No longer the fragile creatures huddled in a corner. They became lively and healthy, running around the cafe and bringing laughter to everyone. Customers adored the trio of Hope, Sunny, and Star. Some even brought food and toys for them whenever they visited. The village children loved playing with the dogs, while the adults felt a sense of warmth and peace from their presence. Hope, with its intelligence and calm demeanor, seemed to keep everything in order at the cafe. Evergreen Café was no longer just a place to eat. It had become a home for lost souls. Everyone in the village felt something special about the cafe, a sense of love and connection that few places could offer. Oscar, once a lonely old man, now had a new family. Liam and Evan weren't just the people who helped him in his time of need, they had become close friends, like grandchildren to him. Oscar often said, "I thought my life was over in that old cabin. But Hope brought me here. And you two gave me a chance to live again." Hope, Sunny, and Star were more than just dogs, they became symbols of hope, renewal, and humanity. Under the roof of Evergreen Café, they all wove a beautiful story together, a tale of finding light and purpose after being lost in the dark. That night, the wind howled through the narrow streets of rural Maine, carrying a biting chill. Evergreen Café had just closed, with only Liam, Evan, and the dogs curled up in their warm blankets inside. Hope suddenly stood up, its ears perked and eyes fixed on the door, as if sensing something. Liam noticed the unusual behavior and gently asked, "What is it?" "Hope." Hope barked loudly, rushing to the door and tapping its paws on the floor as if signaling urgency. Without hesitation, Liam put on his coat, opened the door, and saw Hope dart off into the snowy road. "Evan. I think something's wrong. I'm following Hope." Liam called out. Evan quickly joined him, grabbing a flashlight as they followed Hope into the dark. Hope led them through narrow alleys where dim streetlights failed to reach. In the distance, they heard mocking laughter and a faint, desperate barking. As they got closer, Liam and Evan saw a small boy surrounded by a group of bullies. The boy clutched a tiny dog in his arms, his eyes wide with fear but resolute in protecting it. "Don't touch Lucky. Please. Just leave us alone," the boy shouted, his voice trembling. The bullies laughed, one stepping forward with a menacing look. But just then, Hope emerged from the shadows, growling and barking fiercely. The sight of the fearless dog startled the group, and they quickly scattered, not daring to look back. The boy stared at Hope and then looked up as Liam and Evan approached. "Are you okay?" Liam asked gently, his eyes full of concern for the boy and the trembling dog in his arms. I'm okay. This is Lucky. I couldn't let them hurt him," the boy replied, his voice shaky but determined. Liam crouched down and offered a warm smile. "You did great. But now, let's get both of you to the cafe where it's safe." The boy, named Noah, followed them back to Evergreen Café. On the way, Liam and Evan learned that Noah had lost both his parents in a car accident months ago. Since then, he and Lucky, the dog his parents had given him, had wandered from place to place, relying on the kindness of strangers to survive. At the cafe, Liam and Evan prepared a warm meal for Noah and Lucky. Hope sat beside Noah, its eyes reassuring him that he was safe. In the cozy light of the cafe, Noah began to relax and opened up about the hardships he had endured. "I don't know what to do anymore. I just want Lucky to be safe," Noah said, his eyes brimming with tears. Evan placed a comforting hand on the boy's shoulder. "You don't have to worry anymore. From now on, you and Lucky can stay here with us. Evergreen Café isn't just a place to eat. It's a home for those in need." In the days that followed, Noah adapted to life at Evergreen Café. He quickly bonded with Hope, Sunny, and Star. Lucky, initially shy, became playful and energetic under the care of his new friends. Noah wanted to contribute to the cafe to show his gratitude to Liam and Evan. He helped clean tables, wipe down windows, and even learned to bake from Oscar. Watching Noah work diligently and smile for the first time in months brought warmth to everyone's hearts. The story of Hope rescuing Noah and Lucky spread quickly through the village. People began visiting Evergreen Café not only for its food but also to hear the inspiring tales of kindness and connection. An elderly customer once said, "This cafe is special. It doesn't just serve meals, it mends broken hearts." Hope became a symbol of compassion and bravery at Evergreen Café. Whenever new visitors came, Liam often shared how Hope had saved Noah and Lucky, emphasizing that love and kindness could transform even the bleakest lives. Under this small roof, everyone found a connection that transcended differences. Noah was no longer alone, and Lucky no longer lived in fear. Hope, alongside Liam, Evan, Oscar, and their four-legged friends, continued to write the beautiful story of Evergreen Café, a tale of humanity, renewal, and hope. Evergreen Café was no longer just a small diner tucked away in rural Maine, it had become a symbol of hope and compassion. Stories of the miracles that had unfolded there spread quickly through the community. Everyone who stepped into the café felt its warmth. Not just from the cozy glow of its golden lights but from the people and dogs who called it home. For them, Evergreen Café was a place where anyone, human or animal, could find a home and a family. One sunny winter morning, as sunlight streamed through the cafe's windows, Liam and Evan sat down with Oscar to discuss an idea they had been nurturing. "We can do more," Liam said, his eyes shining with determination. "The stories of Hope, Lucky, and the other dogs have changed lives here. If we can expand this, we could help not just stray dogs but families struggling to care for their pets." Oscar, who now considered Evergreen Café his home, nodded in agreement. "I think so too. There are many people out there who can't afford to care for their pets. If we can help them, they won't have to choose between giving them up or facing hardship." With the help of a local veterinarian, Dr. Amanda, they decided to create a charitable fund called Hope's Initiative. This fund would provide food and medical care for stray animals while also supporting struggling families in caring for their pets. Dr. Amanda, a devoted animal lover, eagerly joined the effort, offering free medical checkups and treatments for pets brought in by families in need. To sustain the fund, Liam and Evan invited their customers to contribute. They placed a small donation box on the counter, labeled, "Help us bring hope to those who need it most." At first, it was filled with spare change. But over time, the contributions grew as customers learned about the fund's noble purpose. Some even volunteered their time and resources, helping organize charity events like bake sales and educational workshops on animal care and protection. Hope, Sunny, Star, and Lucky quickly became the faces of Hope's Initiative. They attended events as ambassadors of love, inspiring people with their resilience and stories. Each time a pet in the village received assistance, Hope and its friends were there, reminding everyone of the power of compassion. Oscar, despite his age, played an active role in supporting the initiative. He and Noah organized baking classes at the cafe, donating a portion of the proceeds to the fund. Watching customers enjoy the cornbread he made filled Oscar with pride and happiness. Noah, after months of loneliness and loss, had truly found his place at Evergreen Café. He not only learned skills like working with customers and baking but also grew emotionally under the care and guidance of Liam and Evan. Lucky, once shy and fearful, now played joyfully alongside Hope, Sunny, and Star, becoming an inseparable part of the family. The cafe became more than just a place to eat. It was the heart of the community, a destination for people seeking support, connection, and hope. Small stories from the cafe inspired acts of kindness throughout the village, creating a ripple effect of positivity. One afternoon, while the cafe was bustling with customers, a man walked in and left a large envelope beside the donation box. He smiled warmly, nodded at Liam, and said, "Thank you for everything you've done. This is how I can help." Inside the envelope was a substantial donation and a note that read, "Every small act of kindness you've done has created a big difference. Keep spreading love." That evening, as the cafe quieted down, Liam, Evan, Oscar, Noah, and the 4 dogs gathered around the fireplace, reflecting on all they had been through. From the snowy night when Hope appeared at the door to rescuing Sunny and Star, meeting Oscar, and bringing Noah and Lucky into their family. It all felt like a beautifully orchestrated plan by life itself, a testament to the transformative power of love. "We're truly a family," Noah said, smiling at everyone around him. "I never thought I'd have a place like this." Evan placed a hand on Noah's shoulder. "Family isn't just where you're born, it's where you find people who love you." Hope, with its gentle eyes, curled up at Evan's feet. Together with Sunny, Star, and Lucky. It was more than a dog, it was a living symbol of hope and compassion. Evergreen Café now carried a message far greater than its food: love has the power to change lives. Whether human or animal. That small café in the corner of the village was not just a place to stop for a meal, it was where new stories of rebirth and hope began.